Mine eyes have seen the coming of another commie horde. If I can hold them off alone, how fun is my reward? Please engage the man as citizen. I hear from my Concord. When will the vultures arrive? Glory, glory, hail computer. Glory, glory, hail computer. Glory, glory, hail computer. My clone keeps marching on.
Alright, welcome back to Synergy Bonus. A bunch of guys that like to sit around, drink, and talk about games. Tonight we are joined by a very special guest.
Shinji Mikami.
Yes and no. Our friend Nick.
Hello.
He joins us on our Synergy.
He's a regular at our table. He's a
Accolades.
regular watcher of our channels.
Don't let them lie to you. They just pulled me in here off the street. They have no idea who I am. They gave me that name.
They expanded my kidnapping routine, so it's no longer just me.
Damn it. He's done it before.
Anyways.
He's still sore about that belt of reverse gender. Anyhow.
Oh.
And that's a story for another time.
I include it in every campaign I run that's D&D, just because I like fucking with my players.
What is this abomination you've set before us? This is clear. This looks like water, but it does not.
This is Stillhouse, America's finest
Wait,
red hot whiskey.
hand me it. I'm going to try an experiment.
Oh, this should be entertaining.
I'm going to try an experiment.
That's a lot of the Stillhouse. Oh my god.
You're gonna die, dude.
Oh, we're all going to die
This
in
is
the end.
white grain alcohol. You're going to die.
What?
Mise-en-scène, mise-en-scène, mise-en-scène.
Are you trying to... Oh, God. Hey, look. There's Jordan's link down below.
The Coooleshoveffect.
Anyways. In regards to what we're talking tonight, happiness is mandatory, so you need to like this.
I don't have clearance for this.
I do.
I'm an ultra... Yes, I do.
Yes.
I'm an ultraviolet. No, both of you have just committed treason by drinking something that was in red.
Have yourself executed after.
Except for Doug. He's a lot. He's blue.
Send in your next appointment? Alright. God, I'm cringing just smelling this.
Did you just shoot that, Nick?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
He's a real man.
Well, we don't have to...
John
Friend
Wayne is a
Computer
real man.
has decided that due
It
to
seriously
that,
tastes like
he doesn't need
cinnamon
any
fireball.
Go to town.
Alright.
Knock yourself out.
Oh, this is awful. This is a mixing cinnamon whiskey is what this is. Are you mixing gin with that? You should.
Oh, I pulled out the gin because I thought that'd be more appropriate
Actually-
for summoning Jordan, but then I realized I don't have cloves, so
It tastes
cheap
a lot-
whiskey and cheap smokes.
It tastes a lot better than it smells. I would have called it a little bit closer to Goldschlager, but less syrupy.
It's definitely a mixing whiskey. That's
Yeah,
for
this
sure.
is not a sipping whiskey.
Not a
It's
shooting
not whiskey at all, actually, because you notice it hasn't been aged. It's clear.
Yeah. Well, it says whiskey on the container.
Doesn't make it sip.
Not a
And there
shooting
comes the
whiskey.
gin. I gotta know.
What is your wish?
That's a lot of gin too. Oh my god.
And the first death of the night.
Just don't go and call in a red flag.
No.
No, we're not a political channel. You stop that. I try to make a Wishmaster joke, and you get it. Nope, I'm not even going there. All right, tonight we're talking about a favorite in this group, and one of the few tabletop games that Nick is a regular participant of, or has been.
Yep.
Has been.
Has been, because we're not currently playing it. This
Which
is
is a damn shame.
Paranoia, but specifically we're talking about the Kickstarter edition from 2017 by Mongoose Publishing.
There's a reason.
Because we're talking about that, we've committed treason, so we must execute ourselves.
Drink.
That's a gimmick.
You don't have clearance to watch this video.
The group has all gained one shadiness point.
That's true.
Fill you up again.
No.
He's blue. He can actually go and order you not to serve him.
Right.
So
But you can fill up Trav's.
Happiness is mandatory.
Happiness
but
is mandatory, so like this,
I
yes.
can't
Alcohol
remember. Where
poisoning
does
is
the
not.
color black rate on this?
You are the
Infrared. You are the
We're
lowest
gonna-
of the low.
we're gonna skip into that right now.
Oh my god.
All right, Spooky,
All right,
set the
I
table
forgot.
for me. What is Paranoia?
Paranoia is a tabletop role-playing game set in Alpha Complex, a
dystopian future.
future where...
Wait, no, dystopian future. That's commie propaganda. I'll report for immediate termination. Alpha Complex is the happiest, best place, and only survival of humanity. All other information is redacted error. Please report to programmers.
I mean, you have white clearance. You know what that information is. You know what the big oops was.
Yes. But...
Wait! You're not supposed to know that even happened! Shit!
That is basically Paranoia. It's a lot of...
We're going to have a clone counter on this.
we should have a clone counter at this point. But again, it is a tabletop RPG using a D6 system.
It's an old long-running series from the 1980s. It's a runoff
It was
of a lot
originally published in 1984, written by Greg Kostoyan, Dan Goldberg, and Eric Goldberg. Oh, Gelber. Dan Gelber and Eric Goldberg.
It's a lot of running off of like 1984 and similar futuristic dystopian novels with a heaping load of sociopathic comedy tossed in.
Yes.
You're going to die in horrible ways. Hopefully they'll be amusing. If
Just
they're not,
because you're going to
they
die in amusing ways, we're going to give you 5 clones.
well, technically you got a 6-pack, but you're already on your first one, and depending on how you roll the character generation, you might
have died.
You might be on clone number 5 already.
I don't have clearance to know this, but in Alpha Complex, it is year 207. It is always year 207. Next year it will be year 207.
I remember year 207 like it was nothing. That was a good year.
Although it might actually be year 248, depending on the edition you're playing.
It's true.
Knowledge of other editions is also treason. Oh god, what's that pop singer that just everyone loves?
Oh, shit.
Not liking her music is also treason.
Yeah.
It'd be a lot easier if we had the books in front of us.
Yeah.
Anyhow.
It's one of the few games where we actually don't have the book here.
It's
Because we just ran off a PDF.
It's a dystopian sci-fi setting. Something happens known colloquially as the Big Oops.
incident.
Possibly 200 years ago, possibly longer, possibly not that long. And
Possibly there never was a big oops, and this is how life has always been.
the surviving humanity, or at least the surviving humanity that we know about, lives in this underground bunker that may not be underground. It may be underwater. It may be in outer space. It may be sitting on the surface. It may be tucked in a city in the background of Detroit somewhere.
It might be in the blue-eyed eye of a giant named Macamba.
It might be in a giant research lab.
It's basically the Truman Show.
In which it's a centrally planned society, completely run by the computer. The computer is your friend. Your friend has your best interests at heart. You will do as the computer tells you.
Communist button. Communist button.
The computer hates communists,
Dados.
but because knowledge of what exactly communism is would be treason, nobody really knows what. And there's only one punishment for treason: death. Nobody really knows, but it had something to do with those 4 guys and their friend Lenin and the music they made.
Those 4 Beatle guys and their friend Groucho Marx. I always knew he was a commie bastard.
The computer... What the computer says, the computer...
The computer at some point was properly functioning without any issues. However, at this point, due to the number of high programmers who are ultraviolet clearance, who have edited friend computers programming, computer doesn't always operate with optimal efficiency. And it doesn't always give the most logical orders. Like, you are all ordered to clean the entirety of Alpha Complex with toothbrushes by the end of the day. You are a team of 4. Alpha Complex has an unknown number of residents. That information is above your clearance level. Questioning that information is suspicion of treason.
Yep. Because you should.
Failure to complete your mission is treason, and you will be executed.
The best thing you can hope for is to pin the treason on somebody else as being more treasonous. All right, so we've mentioned
It happens often.
We've mentioned clearances a few times. Every citizen of Alpha Complex, once they've attained adulthood, because you're actually clones grown in a vat.
So the moment you get out of the cloning tubes.
Yeah. Oh no, because you start as an infrared. You start on a scale of your clearance level based on the rainbow colors, all the way from infrared, black, all up to ultraviolet, white. The players start at level red, and then just yellow.
The first step up from infrared.
Yeah.
Infrared to orange to yellow to blue to green. Or no, green to blue.
Everything in Alpha Complex from the... Why are you taking my red cursor? Because I don't have
You
clearance.
do not have clearance for that.
Everything in Alpha Complex, from the hallways you can walk into, the food you're allowed to eat, is color coded. If you have a color that is your color or lower, you're free to use it. Paper is widely banned because it's white.
As is white paint. And black paint.
Actually, black paint, especially because if it's black, anybody can use it.
Moving on.
You attain clearance levels by becoming an active part of the computer's program and going out and becoming a troubleshooter. By which you mean you find trouble
And you shoot it.
You screwed up at staying off the omniscient AI's radar. Congratulations.
And the most
Gets worse from here.
And the computer will order you to do, like as Trev said, tasks.
Most missions are something simple. Escort this crate down this hallway.
However, that hallway is not your clearance.
Nope.
Figure it out.
Also, the equipment you've been given for this job, which includes high explosives, a vacuum cleaner, and a gerbil, is all the wrong color for your...
And
These are the
also,
tools
your
you
equipment
have.
officer is going to need release forms in quadruplicate. And a blood sample.
If you get caught using any of these,
You will be killed.
in which case,
If
you
you
come
fail-
back as another clone.
If you fail to use your
Happy
mission
birthday.
assigned equipment, you will be killed.
Well, that's
There are a
the
few
thing that
other
we should do.
complications thrown into this. Everybody belongs to a secret society, or not, because secret societies are strictly forbidden.
Now just secret society.
Including
Treason.
INSEC.
Yeah.
And internal security team.
I mean, that's a computer-approved secret society, so if you have appropriate clearance, you're allowed to know about it, and if you have higher clearance, still you're allowed to be a member of it. But you'll probably get appointed to it once you're, like, red.
But knowledge of secret societies is treason.
Correct.
Just like knowledge of mutants.
Failure-
Which no mutants exist.
Failure to report a secret society is also treason.
Like mutants.
There are no mutants in Alpha Complex.
The existence of mutants is treason. The knowledge of mutants is treason. There is no error in Friend Computer's cloning technique.
Aside from registered mutants, who, while committing treason, are forgiven because they took the action or the step of becoming registered. But they are second-class citizens.
Also, all possible mutations that would make technopaths are error, file not found.
But yes, this dickery is basically paranoia.
With dice.
Everyone in the party is part of a competing faction that is being forced to work together, because if they don't work together, they will be executed. And if
also-
they fail to complete their mission, they will be executed. And all of them have complete competing interests from different secret societies that want to dick each other over to the extent of your assignment in this mission is to kill that guy and blame someone else for it. While still completing your mission, which could involve not having any casualties.
Revealing all this information is treason. Prepare to be executed.
But he is.
I outrank you!
He is out violent. But anyways, as you're playing, though, not only are you a troubleshooting team, every person on the team is assigned a job. You have.
And they're randomly changed.
Yep. In this particular version, you have the happiness officer,
The morale officer,
Loyalty officer.
the equipment officer,
hygiene officer,
Team leader.
team leader.
and the weapons officer.
Science officer. Yep.
The weapons officer, my favorite job. I've only gotten
Typically,
it
the
once.
person appointed to these jobs is the one whose skill set is absolutely worst matched to it. The guy who hasn't bathed in 3 weeks, he's your hygiene officer. This is decided by the computer. The computer cannot make mistakes. You are not allowed to question the computer as to why Smelly McSmelly Pants is the hygiene officer.
Also, failing at completing the job duties that have been assigned to you by computer are...
How many treason stars are we up to now?
I'm going to say we're at least up to 3 with all we've been talking about. The computer has us.
That's fine, I'm using my cooling powers to cool my DPM.
As we said, we're talking. Well, actually, we've just been talking about.
Hold
Paranoia.
on, I got to execute myself. I just found a knowledge of mutant powers.
So do they, actually. And they fail to execute themselves. Bam, bam!
We've been talking about Paranoia in broad strokes.
It really
This is a game that's technically on its 7th edition. I say technically because there's like a 3rd edition by West End Games that they never got put in print.
The series is incredibly meta, and at the exact same time, knowing and being meta and being caught being meta in-game is also grounds for execution.
Now, there's a lot of execution going on. We mentioned we're all clones. You're not just a clone. You're a 6-pack of clones.
Bob V.
And
Builder.
once your first clone is executed, your consciousness is transported within seconds into the next waiting clone.
Who was somehow ejected from a tube or told to go and get on the scooter.
Yep.
Depends, whatever the narrative causality
Yep.
requires.
To where your group is. And for whatever reason, in the group, no one has hostilities towards each other after
Because you receive an injection of
In the
animosity
current
be
edition,
gone?
something like that, animosity be gone, or something equally ridiculous that takes away the negative feelings you have towards whatever just caused your death.
And or also taking your
In
regulated
previ-
happiness pills.
In previous editions, there were sometimes lapses in memory, or you just got to hold that grudge.
Also, the other thing we've smoothed over, flew by, in regards to your clearance level. At every clearance level, you get a different type of ration and food sources.
As well as housing.
Yes, as housing. If you're higher ranked, you get better housing, better food, and everything. Just like a proper workers' utopia. However, if you're at ultraviolet, you're going to go and have the lowest quality food, the lowest possible. You're going to live in a giant barracks with just a locker and your bed, and also you're going to receive a large supplicant of medication in your food that inhibits your cognitive abilities. As you become infrared, or as you become red, the meds are dialed back a little bit. You can think a little clearer. When you move to
That awful
orange,
experience you are feeling right now for the first time is called free will.
and possibly independent thought. We know it's scary, but if this is the appropriate clearance level for you, trust us. Friend Computer hasn't made a mistake.
Don't worry, citizen. You'll be moving up in the world.
Or you'll be executed and we'll terminate your clone line.
Exactly.
Probably both. There are also a lot of other inhibitors. There's puberty inhibitors are a thing in this, so everybody's androgynous, perpetual 12-year-olds.
Also, there's sexual inhibitors because there is no such thing as sexual procreation.
Yeah, that's the thing. Because the cloning program is the result of the computer is perfect and infallible. Engaging in sexual reproduction would be flying in the face of the computer and questioning its infallibility, ergo it is treason. The computer does not recognize homosexual copulation as reproduction.
It's just really friendly hugging and wrestling.
Really vigorous naked wrestling, which is probably best not engaged in when you could be better spending your time hunting down traitors.
And doing your assigned job. Really, this game is how well can you operate on doublethink.
Yep.
That's true.
We've mentioned several times that happiness is mandatory. You're on a steady diet and regimen of mood elevator pills.
Doug doesn't seem sufficiently happy. As happiness officer, take one of these happiness sticks. Consume the happiness stick.
I'm feeling much happier now, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Good. Your lack of happiness has been noted for my report at the end of the
I could
mission.
use a cup of brown or hot brown drink.
Hot fun.
Oh, jeez.
It's hot fun.
That is cold brown drink.
Cold brown drink is all we have.
No, there's hot in it. There is hot.
Oh, there is.
Happiness is mandatory.
Happiness is mandatory.
Happy hot drink.
Ha 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 ha. Why does it taste like
Gin and
no
sadness.
You remember those old
That sounds like something a Connie Newton trader would say.
You remember those old candy lipsticks you used to get from like the penny candy store? It tastes like that.
Oh, it's great. Just drinking it up here. It's great. Happiness is mandatory.
Happiness is mandatory.
He's just getting a kick out of being the ultraviolet. I can tell.
What is it?
I took off my Hawaiian shirt.
Actually, it's I get it.
Oh man.
Okay, so this game, this particular version, you have
Happiness
cards,
is mandatory.
which
What's next to it?
we'll talk about your or your equipment rather. Or
Okay.
the cards have some special stuff.
Part of the Kickstarter was that they were revising and streamlining the rules and making it. They call it the out of the box edition because it's ready to play out of the box.
They've got even nice little cards for you to play on.
Instead of traditional character sheets, there's little whiteboards because your character's going to die so often. They put out cards that had all of the powers in the secret
Actually,
societies.
the whiteboard was a Kickstarter exclusive.
Oh, okay, well.
And Ryan kickstarted.
Yes,
He did. But
He also had the briefcase of eyes only clearance.
yeah, but that was something that he picked up.
Oh,
at the
yeah.
sale.
I think he got it from Joe.
But anyways,
What was the one card that was given to you?
oh, you're number one.
Oh yeah, you're number one.
But anyways, there's a number of
The
cards.
eyes are on you.
There's a number of cards there, which could be abilities to do something like, okay, this thing is super deadly now. Like, I throw this and it kills someone.
Combat cards.
Combat
essentially.
cards.
Sometimes you'll get cards based off your faction for the mission. Like for one of our missions, my character totally did not have a data bomb because we did not have clearance for a data bomb. And possession of a data bomb, even with clearance, is treason.
But what Doug is trying to talk about here is combat cards. They each have a number on them. This is your initiative order, and it has an effect, an ability, like didn't quite kill me, or I'm not quite dead yet, where an otherwise lethal blow.
Oh, that was
Comical
super
misfire.
deadly.
That was super deadly, where instant crit. Yeah.
But no, reverse that. And the thing is, initiative really wasn't determined in this. We basically picked it on our own unless someone wanted to contest it
You
with
had
a
to
card.
go and choose one of your cards for your hand that you're issued, and the number next to the card, which would be the modifier, was your initiative. So if I throw down a card of the highest one, 5, I think it was, I'm going first unless anyone else contests, in which case we act at the same turn.
And some cards just
But also, I just gave up a card that would have given me a +5 dice modifier in combat, so I better have something good. You better have a plan so cunning you could put ears on it and call it a fox.
Other cards are mutant powers. You might not even have a mutant power.
Of course not. I'm not a mutant. That would be treason.
What are mutants?
Mutants are treason. Knowledge of mutants existing is treason.
Well, he's blue clearance. He
What is a mutant? I have no knowledge of mutants. What are mutants?
Knowledge of what information clearance levels.
Okay, and as far as like dice rolls go in this, as we said, it's a D6 system. This particular version has a computer die. So when you roll and that computer die comes up, the computer has taken notice of your actions and will try to help, like that goddamn paperclip and freaking
Hello,
Microsoft
Fred Computer
Office.
has noticed that you are trying to shoot commie mutant terrorists.
Would you
Fred Computer appreciates this. Fred Computer's extensive research in the elimination of commie mutant traitors has found that empowering montage music boosts morale. Fred Computer is now dispatching the speakers and your PCU unit in your head to play montage music.
I'm pretty sure comparing Friend Computer to Clippy is treason.
Friend Computer noticed
We
you're trying
totally
to break.
didn't reprogram Fred Computer.
Friend Computer has noticed that you're trying to break into this house. Would you like assistance in breaking into this house?
No,
Like to watch an informative video on proper breaking and entering.
No, Friend Computer is also raising these prompts to everyone within a 100-foot radius,
Yep.
including the person in the house who are breaking into.
So, the computer, yeah.
A few other additions to this edition. We've now got the eyeball, which is a special lens that is inserted in your eye that gives you an automatic heads-up display
The
everywhere you
PCU,
go.
I think it's called.
I don't know.
That's what I'm
Literally the
calling it.
eyeball, actually.
Oh, yeah. I/ball.
Correct.
Uh-huh.
And it displays things like somebody's treason rating. You will notice at the moment that Nick over here, for not participating in the conversation, has 3 suspicion stars.
What makes you say I haven't participated?
The 3 suspicions?
And you'll note that my suspicion stars are completely blurred out because I'm a higher clearance level than
We
you.
don't have clearance to see what his rating is. But it also details his name, his clearance rating, his current affiliation within
Alpha Complex.
Alpha Complex Research and Development.
And how many clones I have left.
The eyeball can also record. So we
A
can
very important feature that you should always remember, that everyone can be recording everything at any moment.
It also accesses Alpha Wiki.
Also, this is an important feature of this game that we've neglected to mention at this time. Ninja notes.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to have to do a lot of blue booking in this game.
We all use Telegram.
We all use Telegram, which is a secure messaging app.
I forgot about
so we can send messages from the GM to specific players, the specific players to the GM, the entire
Without
group
throwing
for
notes across
notifications.
the table.
Because otherwise, everyone just looks at you like, okay, he just threw a message. What's going on? Whereas if someone just grabs their phone and is messaging it at the table, well, that's bad form. It's easily disguised.
But in this game, it's he's messaging somebody. What is going on?
Are they talking to their significant other? Or are they just bored?
Or are they messaging the GM?
Did they
hire
get
a community trader? Boom!
Is Doug recording me while I break into the section chief's residence, knock them out using powers that would be treasonous to possess, and then hacking into their computer system?
What are you doing? What are you not doing?
In older editions, we actually use pencil and paper for this, and all that happens is every time the
Someone writes
GM
down
coughs, there's a flurry of white notes.
And it just makes it really hectic.
Yes.
Like, whose handwriting is this? I don't know. What's it say? Fuck you.
I'm gonna give it.
That was me.
I'm gonna give it.
You wrote a note that just said "fuck you."
Exactly.
Yep.
Because this is gonna get me executed because I was part of a traitors secret society known as the Deaf Leopards.
Fuck you hair metal bastards!
Glam metal.
So
Glam hair metal is not very different.
I got inducted into them because I shoulder carried this injured robot chasing down the hall. So they're like, that was awesome. So you got to do this.
Yes,
so,
it generated mass hysteria.
So one of the so the next day it's like, hey, you know what you need to do? You need to cause a riot.
Let's start a riot!
So this was
A riot!
No, please. Pour some sugar on it.
I'll take the still house. No, that's an order.
Wait, no, slide it back. He can't order me.
I did not order you.
I think you said that's an order. Nick is in between us, so Nick would have to follow the order, not me. Otherwise, Doug would be treasonous, and I'm already executed Doug enough today, but I haven't executed Nick and Trav enough. So, Doug gave you an order.
Pretty significant there.
There we go.
So anyways, this was beautiful. This was just a beautiful on my part. So, hey, you got to start a riot. I got to be the equipment officer and said, for this extra experience, you could get this item. It was basically a collar with a detonation button.
Oh god, I remember this. This is when I upgraded from the freaking flintlock rifle to the automatic.
I almost feel like we need to cut this and make it a war story.
So, I walk in.
We need Ryan here for that.
To this common area. I just snuck off from these guys because they were investigating something. So I would conspicuous. I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna sneak roll this and put the collar underneath a table, chair.
This was the food fight in the cafeteria.
So someone comes and sits down. Someone comes and sits down in the chair. I'm like, hey, this guy right here, and I describe Nick's character. He's kind of shady. You need to watch out. I heard he's going to do something. So later on, we all come into the group, this as a group, and I'm like, Ron, I'm detonating it. So I detonated it. The guy in the chair goes flying. Everyone looks at Nick, and they just start killing each other. Just a riot started, and I got my extra XP. That's all that counted.
That was
And I had no idea.
Exactly.
Was that the one where we were in the lowest levels of Alpha Complex?
And I also blamed it on him, too. And I got more XP for that.
That was where we had Kevin in the elevator, who was awesome at killing traitors because we were friendly to him. Because Kevin is nice.
Kevin the elevator, yeah.
We're getting a little long-winded. Is there anything else that we should describe? I feel like
Maybe we can talk about XP for a second, because in addition to its normal function of leveling you up, it's also your currency in this game.
And you can use it to go and buy additional perks as you level up. If you want to move from one clearance to another, it will cost so much XP. If you want to go and have a party thrown for you with cake when you level up, that will cost additional XP. If you want to have a party thrown for you and the cake is a color that only you can eat, that's even more XP.
And sometimes
it's on the chart.
That extra experience to do. It really
Just
is.
to be a dick. This game rewards you for being a dick and being sneaky and not being caught.
It's a great way to just dick over your friends and have a laugh about it.
My favorite part about the game is literally
Charging!
not charging.
Oh god! Oh god! There's a work story for that.
Anyways,
Not a war story, a work
it is a
story.
work story. But my favorite part is the debriefing at the end of the mission. That's my favorite part. And then when we actually finished this complete session, we all kind of told each other what was going on. It's like, oh my god, I had no clue or whatnot.
Like, everyone is dicking over everyone and being as sneaky as they can. With some people, it's easy. With other people, you don't pick up on it. There was an entire point where I was sure that it was either Nick or Adria that was screwing me over at several sessions. No, it was this motherfucker in blue.
Also, there was this, it was after the fact I started thinking about the events that happened. So it was the same event with the riot. And
Didn't you have the multiplication power where everything got worse? No, that was Mike in a different section.
But
That power comes up a lot.
But Jordan had these hover boots, and when he returned them, they were
hover
communist boots.
Oh, hover.
You
And,
swapped them.
No,
No, they never worked.
No. He switched them out, and I was thinking about it.
He
I'm
switched him out because his mission was to protect the
because
fact
he was
that
part of
they
the
didn't
communists. I talked to the GM after a day later. I'm like, I can prove Jordan's a communist, and the thing is, when it got down to it, I was wrong. He was a communist, but where the boot switch happened, it wasn't there. Literally, he did it early on in the train. I'm like, I was right, but I was wrong. It was
The entire time, what did you two think I was for faction?
Oh,
I was the Def Leopards.
Yep.
Jordan was the communist.
What faction did you think I was?
shit.
I don't remember.
I can't remember the
I
names of all
don't,
the
I
factions.
don't know either.
I thought I was InSec. I was told I was InSec, and Ryan can comment if I'm wrong. I think I was the capitalists.
I was first church of the computer.
Do you remember yours, Nick?
No, the thing is, I was...
You were in a secret society.
No. I was in a secret society, but it happened during a session that I wasn't there for. So when I came back...
So you were in a secret
I
society.
was in a secret society, and I had no idea!
That's brilliant. That's actually brilliant. I love
One
it.
second, I'm loading up Telegram.
Oh, he's gonna get some. Yeah.
Oh, but I think we should.
I should do some final thoughts.
Normal operations. Now resume. Ignore all previous message. I was hacked by traitors. Remember to test your experimental equipment. Log in. Continue. Go back. Help menu. Escape. Help. How to go back to main screen. Friend computer is not having issues.
No issues whatsoever.
There's a traitor next to you. Shoot them.
Let's start with some final thoughts. We can begin with Nick because he's our
Yeah.
guest.
You got to play it a few times, and re-talking about it here probably brought back some memories.
Yeah.
What were your thoughts of the game?
To be honest, I had no... At the very end of the session, at the very end of the game, I knew what it was all about, but from early on, I had absolutely no idea
It's like,
that
what the
I
fuck
was...
is this?
I had absolutely no idea I was supposed to dick over everybody else. So that's why I never really participated in it.
But you did in the other sessions. I
You're not supposed to dick over everyone else. You're supposed to dick over
No,
everyone
dicking
else
over everybody
while
else is
still
treason.
getting the job done. And that's why we're still not...
You're supposed to get your job done, and just so happens dicking over other people might fall into
This
that.
is why we're still not playing this campaign, because we were too occupied with dicking each other over,
Then we
and
all
an
died.
entire sector of Alpha Complex was annihilated by a war bot launching a nuclear warhead, and all of the mad scientists pulling out their doomsday weapons and firing before that war.
Convention, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. And we fucked up.
But I mean, when-
so bad. Oh, so bad.
But as opposed to other RPGs that I played, it was all a group effort, like it was all a team effort, and this threw me off guard because
it was a team effort, but not.
Yes.
It was team effort with self-sustaining goals.
Yes, there was so much subterfuge in it that I had no idea that I was supposed to be doing all of this, or I could do any or all of this. Unless you're Seamus McCracken.
For the most part, in our group that we've got for North County, for the most of us, we're communal enough that we'll move together for the goal, the group's mission, whatnot, moving the story forward. We don't put the self before the group. We're willing to work
exactly
for
the
it.
kind of individualism that the computer approves of.
Yes, exactly. Individualism is a very bad idea, and the entire thought of it existing is treason. If you know what I'm talking about, You know what to do by this point in the video. But a game like Paranoia runs opposite to that.
I was going to say for my final thought here is I played a version of Paranoia years and years before with my ex-fiance and a couple people, and like I don't know if they did it wrong or whatnot, but I fucking hated the game. I'm like, I never want to bring up Paranoia. I'm like, that game's fucking stupid. I fucking hate it and whatnot. Just no. And then it was explained to me a little bit better, and then I heard the Kickstarter came out. The hell, we got the Kickstarter here. Let's play this as a group. And I'm like, that sounds really cool. And it was. It was a lot of fun. So my opinion has definitely changed. It was just a bad group that one time.
Which is unfortunate because that will ruin a good game. Oh, yeah. Like Paranoia, if you've got the right group and also a GM that has that right level of sadistic humor, it could be a very interesting game. Like Ryan did a wonderful job. I would kind of like to see Jordan run it just for that level of absurdism. And if it weren't such a cacophony of what the hell is going on right now, I would like to run a game.
I would like to run one too. I don't know if I could, but I would like to try. All right, Trev.
I've often said that a really good gaming group could save even the worst game, and a really bad gaming group could ruin even the best game.
Next up, Fatal.
You have like a hard on.
Walked into that. Well, who doesn't?
That's because I rolled properly on charts.
I've always been a fan of Paranoia. I've gone the extra mile. I've got the novels, even though I don't have clearance for any of them. It's a great thing, and I really do appreciate this new system and how it streamlines everything and ties a lot of the lore together, although it does gloss over things like 5th edition, where the computer was actually killed off during the Iceman Cometh, and it's just a whole bunch of...
Knowledge of 5th edition is treason. Travis now out of clones.
Yeah.
The GM granted him some extra ones.
These will be held against his future XP.
When I come to edit, I gotta see how many clones everyone really.
Also, treason stars.
Yeah. Well, you get treason stars build up before you get executed. That's how it works.
I'm just executing you as soon as I see treason.
Yeah. I love everything about this game. I love how it deconstructs RPGs, how it's just a dystopian nightmare future that is based on all of my favorite dystopian nightmare future novels.
With cream pies thrown at each other, added in.
Yeah, I love the ridiculous black humor. The darker your sense of humor, the more you're going to love this game.
Just remember, in Alpha Complex, dark humor is like food.
Not
you
everyone
don't have clearance for that. It's a grand time to have with good friends when you've got a table where nobody's going to get easily offended. We could do a whole new segment of like Spoonie's fiance files for these.
We probably could.
Blood eagle, blood eagle,
Okay.
blood eagle, blood eagle.
You stop that. That is a war story that I GM'd. I wasn't even. I mean, I was a participant as a GM,
I
but
think I know our next video.
okay.
On that note,
I would say good night.
good
Good
gaming.
gaming.
Watching this video to completion is treason.
Citizens, if you enjoyed this video, leave a comment and a like. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell for all notification. Failure to hit the bell is treason. You must have a good night and good gaming. Happiness is mandatory. Please report to your nearest debriefing station for mandatory voluntary execution.
The commies are all vapor now, and for that I'm real glad. My Geiger counter indicates I took 1,000 rad. I check with the computer and find out that's not too bad. When will the dark bot arrive?